Plaintiff Deborah Rowland says when her daughter started dating the defendant, she thought he was a well-mannered Southern boy who was good for her daughter. However, Deborah is suing because she bailed the defendant out of jail twice, but she has yet to be repaid. Defendant Reed Griswold says the only reason Deborah is suing him is because he's no longer dating her daughter. Reed insists he never asked Deborah to bail him out and therefore denies owing her.
Tell me what happened.
When I met Reed, he was dating my daughter, and I thought he was really one of those old-timey Southern good boys. And he's a good-looking boy, got beautiful manners, says his yes ma'ams and no ma'ams, and
sounds like a con man to me. So go ahead. Sounds like a con man to me. But go ahead. I'm just kidding.
He won me over.
That's good to hear, though. Go ahead.
No, he's beautifully mannered. But
I say that because you're suing him now. So
I know.
It sounds like he cons you. Go ahead, though.
Pretty good. But anyway, soon to realize that I thought he and Madison would be a good fix, but unfortunately I had to bail Reed out of jail.
But before that,
2 times.
Before that, what was it like, him being your daughter's boyfriend?
They
was an ideal boyfriend?
Well, he seemed to be. They seemed to get along real well, and they went out on spring break down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and unfortunately that's where he got in some trouble.
Okay, what happened?
And Madison called me and said that she couldn't find Reed, and then she finally found him, and he had been arrested. And
for what? Drinking?
Well, I think what he started to do was he had his system, the boom box. I think his little music was up too loud, and that's a big no-no right in Myrtle Beach. They'll immediately stop you.
Okay.
And they pulled Reed and found out he had a suspended license. Okay. But Reed had been drinking, so I think that's what they put him in jail.
Okay.
So Madison called me and asked me, and I gave her my credit card number to get him out because they didn't have enough money to get him out. And he thanked me profusely for getting him out, and then they came on home. And then about a month later, unfortunately, Madison called me again and said Reed was kind of missing in action, and she found out he was in jail again.
Not Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. He's a good-looking boy, got beautiful manners, says his yes ma'ams and no ma'ams, and
sounds like a con man to me. So go ahead. Sounds like a con man to me.
Defendant Reed Griswold dated the plaintiff's daughter, and he believes the plaintiff is only suing him because they are now broken up.
And but anyway, I went down to the jail and bailed Reed out again, and took him home this time. Took him back to his house, and he thanked me and told me this never happened again, and that he would pay me back.
That's what I need to hear.
Right.
All I'm hearing so far is a thank you.
Well, he said thank you, and he would pay me back.
Did he say when?
And well, when he got a job. But Reed's kind of a little bit on the lazy side, and Reed had an excuse about not being able, the economy and everything, to be able to get a job. So then Reed and Madison continued dating off and on, and Reed did get a job, and I was really proud of him, in Charleston, South Carolina, and he moved down there. And Madison went, this was last year for her birthday, she went down to see him. And at that point when he told Madison that he was going to start paying me back because he had this job. And then they ended up moving back, and I guess he had no job.
Okay.
And I went by his house finally to talk to him, and he wasn't there, and I talked to his brother, and his brother was all in favor and said that I needed to make Reed pay me back.
Did they break up, him and your daughter?
Oh, yes, sir.
When?
Yes. Oh, probably, I don't know, Christmas time or something like that. I don't have,
all right.
But I kept waiting, and then finally I decided, and that's when I
to sue him. So let me hear from
yes,
you.
sir.
Your Honor, I feel the only reason we're here today is because she has hatred toward me just because I'm not with her daughter.
Why do you think she hates you? Because of
Really?
I know she said you're a nice guy, but you're that special.
Because
That
yes,
somebody will sue you because you broke up
yes,
with their daughter?
the boyfriend.
Because the daughter can't have you anymore, I'm gonna sue him. I love that boyfriend of yours so much that if he doesn't come back to you, I'm suing him. So you tell him, unless he comes back, I'm suing him. And that's the reason.
Yes, sir,
because
Your Honor.
you didn't come back.
If we were still together right now, she would not be suing me.
Go ahead.
She was in a bad relationship when I met her.
Who? The daughter?
Yes, the daughter. She was in a bad relationship, and I kind of like swooped in there, and I was the gentleman. I was the gentleman that she says I was, know. But when it all happened, the first arrest when we went down to Myrtle Beach, we brought a couple of friends down there with us. And she had paid for the hotel room and the food and stuff, and they kind of loaned their ways down there and was trying to live off us for the weekend. And I got into a heated argument with a guy that came down there with us, and it could have turned violent if I hadn't left. So that's when I left, and I got in my truck, and I didn't have a license then, so I did get pulled over and arrested for driving under suspension. But when it came time for me to make a phone call around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock when the judge comes in, I didn't even make the phone call because she had already paid for me to get out without me calling Madison or calling her or anything.
How did she know you were in jail?
Well, there wasn't many options where I could be.
Do you think she just guessed up on it? She telepathy?
No, her daughter.
girlfriend?
Her daughter, yes. She found out I was in jail by calling out.
Act like you don't know how it all happened. You told your girlfriend. You made your call and said, how did the girlfriend find out again?
I didn't come back to the hotel room that night, and
How did she find out you were in jail?
She called the local jail.
Oh,
She found out I was there.
She called the local jail. Why do you think she thought you were in jail? Well, a lot of people call the hospital first, or they call your friends. She called the jail.
That's
All
right.
And you didn't speak with her.
I didn't speak with anyone. I just got bailed out out of nowhere, and turns out she had paid for me to get out, and there was no discussion of me paying her back at all.
And you were arrested 1 month later?
Yes, sir.
All right. And once again, obviously, you didn't call anybody. She had telepathy again. You came up missing, and she said, let me call the jail.
That's right.
Okay.
And once again, I didn't.
Somebody bailed you out and you say, wow, this is Jesus at work.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to call my mother with my phone call that I got, but I already been bailed out. So once again, no payments or anything was ever discussed. So
did you know who had bailed you out? Who put up the money?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you find out that the plaintiff put up the money?
When I looked at the papers the next morning that they handed me.
Which next morning? Both next
of them.
mornings?
Both of them.
So both times you knew she had put up the money to get you out.
Right.
And how long after getting out did you see her?
I saw her the next day on the second arrest, and I guess when we got back from the beach on the first one.
All right. And what did you say to her with knowledge that she had gotten you out?
I said, thank you so much. And we never discussed payments or
and
that
the
I'd pay her
second
back.
time, that's all you did again, to say thank you so much? All right. What was going through your mind? Just curious. Did you say, she was supposed to do that? I ain't gonna give her. What were you thinking? Just wondering.
I know she did it out of the goodness of her heart, and that's what I was thinking.
Okay. And you thought perhaps that was her obligation. What about now? What do you think now? You think she had some type of obligation? And now that she says, no, there was a misunderstanding. I didn't do it out of the goodness of my heart, Mr. Gentleman. If you didn't know, now you do know. The girlfriend find out again.
I didn't come back to the hotel room that night, and
how did she find out you were in jail?
She called the local jail.
Oh, okay.
I was there.
She called the local jail. Why do you think she thought you were in jail? Well, a lot of people call the hospital first, or they call your friends. She called the jail.
Defendant Reed Griswold dated the plaintiff's daughter, and he believes the plaintiff is only suing him because they are now broken up.
Now that you know, your girlfriend's mother thought it was to be returned. You thought it wasn't. Now you know, though. And you're a nice guy by your own admission. I'm a gentleman. Who Who do you think should be responsible for the money this woman lost getting you out of jail?
She should.
Good enough. All right. Let's move right along. So he has shown me that he has a character flaw, in my opinion, and I'm the judge, and my opinion counts.
Okay.
All right. So he thinks you're responsible for getting him out of jail. So I'm going to grant your judgment because I could not rely on his testimony if his reasoning is faulty. All right. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
You're a smart boy. You know that. You went to school. You're a good-looking guy. I have no animosity about you and Madison.
I think she still cares about me.
He's a nice guy if he just made a couple bad mistakes.